Welcome acolytes, today I'm reacting to Ref Says the Sue, comment towards violating people when fixing art backfires. Thank you to Shadowmaster for actually giving me this video. I wanted to do a different one, but after seeing this, yeah, this is interesting. Very interesting. By the way, community notes, best feature on X. Best. So
hey, what's up guys, Ref here. Welcome back to another edition of Community Notes Violating People. This is a regular segment on the channel, and in case you don't know, Community Notes are a communal fact-check system on Twitter where qualified users can leave a note underneath a tweet providing additional context, and if that gets enough upvotes from the community, it is publicly applied to the tweet, often dispelling misinformation and also leading to some really funny results, as we'll see in this video. So let's begin.
But also the only bad thing about it is if you have enough if your voice is big enough, your community is big enough, they can also downvote the community thing, even if it's 1000% correct, and just make it disappear. So there's that, but 99% of the time it's fantastic.
With this note right here. So this is a very simple and powerful one. So this user, on a tweet with 470,000 likes, by the way, said, "You think the itsy bitsy spider cared about the rain? No, it climbed the spout again. Lock in." So very motivating words. Unfortunately, it was hit with a note saying this: "It's important to note that the sun came out and dried up all the rain." Yes, a very poetic sequence of interactions here. I mean, honestly, like, this screenshot belongs in a museum somewhere, but that is a very simple example of a community note. Now let's look at a little more convoluted one.
It is simple, on point, and beautiful.
With this series of tweets right here. This is a screenshot of Chibi Reviews talking about this Crunchyroll post here. They say, "Drop the best anime quote of all time." And of course, this is a quote from Frieren saying, "The more you desire coexistence, the more people die by your hands," of course referring to demons in that universe. And this user says, "I'm told this is not fascism." Ah, yes. Fascism is killing demons in Frieren who are objectively evil with no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Now, the note from the previous...
Anti-acolytes, we have to give respect to anti. This is so on effing point. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Tweet has disappeared over the past couple of days, but luckily we have another example from this user quoting the previous one saying, "I'm sorry, but this Frieren show is suspect as hell. And if the demons are just all evil just cuz, and they kill just cuz they like it, that's fascistic messaging."
You know, I don't care what Ref says here. Ego left, get fucked, watch the show, and if you still think that you are thinking, your brain is so effed up, washed, that it's actually better reserved for worms that actually eat it up, so at least they have some nourishment and use it more than you will in your lifetime.
Well, let's see some other messaging in the form of this note, which says, "Demons in Frieren are portrayed as a race of predators completely lacking in empathy and are utterly incapable of coexisting with humans due to their nature of being predators who only uses their appearance and speech to catch their human prey." So that settles that. No, it is not fascism to kill demons in Frieren. I think everyone who's sane understands that. But looking at this note, of course, these demons in Frieren, they're trying to catch their human prey. Now, in real life, you guys deserve something much more appetizing than that barbaric option, and you can get some help with that thanks to today's sponsor.
Ref, you absolutely have a sponsor.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Giga Chats at HelloFresh have returned to sponsor this video. Click the link in the description or use my code and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box.
I'm gonna be honest, before he actually continues, I'm gonna still keep it up for him to, with this, because it sounds like a standard app thing. But I'm so happy that Ref actually gets those sponsors and he can actually go out and do stuff like this because he actually gets money for this, and this is just very, very nicely done. And HelloFresh, from what I am actually know and talk with people that actually use it, they're actually quite fond of it. So there's that. But if you want to support Rev as it is, the best way of doing it, or I mean the best way is basically watching his stuff after mine, just to get rid of my commentary if you're interested in it or not, and then actually going in and just using his sponsor, because the more sponsors you get, the better it is.
Welcome back, guys.
But also just liking and subscribing to him helps a bunch. So
now we're going to look at yet another hilarious example of a user trying to fix someone else's art, and then it ends absolutely horribly, and rightfully so. So it begins with this art featuring Batman and Catwoman here, and then this user, in their infinite wisdom, decided to blackwash Catwoman and say this: "Fixed your whitewashing. Next time, remember that Catwoman is, always was, and always will be a black woman. Thanks." And you can see based on the screenshot, it was never doing well, okay? They had 82 likes and about 300 quotes dunking on them, and of course they would be hit with a note, as you can see here, saying while various portrayals of Catwoman have been black, she has been portrayed by white women, including her first comic book appearance and first live action adaptation. Now you're probably wondering, why are these all screenshots, Rev? Well, this user has been nuked into orbit. In fact, they were so humiliated after getting hit with the note that they changed their name briefly to "Okay, leave me alone," and then eventually, not long after that, completely deactivated from social media, which is really just a poetic end to a very bad sequence. Not just...
No, acolytes, what I see here is simple justice. This user tried to spread misinformation, wanted to bully somebody else, and then got a taste of his own medicine. This isn't poetic justice. This is just. This is how we should deal with effed up bullies like that.
Just trying to fix someone's art, which is already very disrespectful, but they're also blackwashing the character while claiming that is canonically correct, their version of it, which clearly was not, based on the note, or based on anyone who's been paying attention to Catwoman at all, whether it's in the live-action adaptations or the comic books. But let's move on.
Yes, because just go step by step with it. She disrespected the person, she spread lies, she was hypocritical, she bullied the person, and then even exchanged by bullying him. The entire thing was just a lie to slander the person. So, no, F them. I hope this happens more often.
Very bizarre situation. So you have this VTuber down here posting this karaoke night type scenery here. Looks good, model looks good, everything looks fun. Except for this user, who quoted them saying, "This is so sad," replies in that thread, "hordes of thirsty men lusting after drawings and 3D model characters run by other men." Now, unfortunately, this is a scenario where you have me involved in this whole thing, but I'm not pretending to be anyone. But you can see the note says this: "While male VTubers do exist, the assumption that all female VTubers are men is incorrect. Midas is a woman, and the majority of female VTubers are also women. This claim is outdated and often used to misrepresent the VTuber community." And of course...
And by the way, Midas, effing funny.
Of course, this particular VTuber is a woman, and there's no reason to not suspect so. So this user is really just kind of projecting their own insecurities about the subject. Then someone says this reply down here, and they reply by saying, "It's funny to see all the responses from your simp army. What are you guys even doing? You are young. You guys should be chasing after real women instead of you descend upon me because I made an observation. It's Friday night, fellas. Stop smoking weed and go out and date people. I'm out." Interesting. Seems like a lot of projection. But yeah, we've seen this happen many times before.
What do you mean projection? It's just a freak not knowing what he says, trying to bully other people, and then being salty because he got proven wrong.
And here's Simple a funny obligatory Shondo clip on the subject.
Draw a nice picture.
Grow up, mate.
Go outside, that's a little far.
Real voice slip. Oh, did I hit the button again? I accidentally hit the button that
Turns off my voice changer.
and turn it back on now. Are we alright? Do I sound cute again? It's all good. Thank goodness I got a bit scared when I accidentally turned it. I mean, accidentally hit the funny button. Yeah, it'd be a bit scary if I accidentally turned it off all stream. I'm gonna go for a pint tonight. I'm a cute anime girl. I'll go down to the pub, mate. Yeah, imagine if I was a man in real life.
Imagine.
That'd be a bit funny, wouldn't it? Be a bit silly. Oh, you
idiots! You didn't tell me.
The vocal range is really impressive, besides, just the meme itself. But anyways, let's move on to the next series of interactions here. So, recently there's been a very weird feud going on, particularly in like the related gacha communities between male enjoyers of the medium versus female enjoyers in various series that are heavily populated one way or another based.
Why? You're both on the same side, you just like different things. It's fine. Don't be intolerant like other groups.
On gender, and there's kind of this argument a lot of people are raising in certain communities that basically they're trying to say that any gacha game and the fan service that comes with it that's directed towards women is somehow different than the type of stuff that is directed towards men and the same counterparts, like as if somehow it's different. But we see this interaction. This person says one of them completely dehumanizes women and got lolis in it. The other lets you do cute selfies with your characters with stickers and it also got other female characters in it. So there's this divide between love in deep space and Nikke here. The note is devastating. Okay, that last user was hit with this saying, Nikke's story is about giving humanity to artificial soldiers. Love in deep space let you have the naked characters whispering to you in bed in first-person perspective and touch them around. And the latest event have those characters in what is clearly BDSM gear. Like, can we stop pretending like there's some sort of a difference between gacha games and fan service directed towards men versus female? Okay, everyone's a bit freaky, okay? It's very strange to act like there isn't some sort of a...
That's correct.
There's some sort of difference between the two, okay? People are enjoying fan service one way or another. Let's not act like there's anything really different going on here. And this post is very similar. Okay, this user referring to this art that says women's romance with this example, and then men's romance with this harem of what appears to be cat girls, right? And this user, with the tune of 100,000 likes, says, I don't think most men know what women truly fantasize about, and this post proves it. So first of all, highly disagree. Second of all, you can see the note.
Yeah, highly disagree. Gonna be honest, this scenario, with my experience, acolytes, you cannot go wrong with it.
Disagree. Second of all, you can see the note, very simple, very devastating. It says, this comic was drawn by a woman. And here's the actual artist, and they say this. First, I am a woman. Second, this is a joke based on the extremes of books. Third, both examples are based on real books I read for research on another project. Both mega sellers. Lastly, I can't stress this enough. It's a joke. Read whatever makes you happy. That is the very fair and appropriate response to people getting upset about that comic. Yes, there's probably some truth to it in the most extremes, but also at the very, very minimum, it's a joke. Stop taking it so seriously. People on Twitter just cannot take a joke, and we all know that at this point. But here's the next one. Very bizarre situation. This was posted the other day. So this person posts this video saying Elon Musk walks off and leaves his 4-year-old son wandering off stage by himself. This clip legitimately disturbs and saddens me. And you can see, this is what they're referring to. Elon walks out here. They begin together. He walks out. His son's kind of dragging a little bit behind. And then we're given the impression by this clip that he just left. He just pieced out. His son left behind. But then the note says this. In the full video below, you can see Elon turning around and waiting for his son. And if you look at the full clip that they left out, you can see he waits for his son and then walks off with him. Okay,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like Elon Musk, and you don't have to, by the way, but this is very strange stuff. Like, this is derangement syndrome levels here, where you're intentionally clipping off something like this to give the impression he abandoned his son at whatever event this was. That's very strange. Very strange lengths people will go to try to justify hating someone. When
freaks will do freak stuff and expect that everybody believes them just because the freaks actually... And this, by the way, the post that they did, in my opinion, was total... I am not a fan of Elon Musk. Let's just say it like this. I think he does a lot of good things, but I still don't like the guy. But at the end of the day, no, this is slander. The poster from the different video and claiming that he just abandoned his son. This is something so disgusting that no real life person would even accept in their actual real life friend group. This would be just leaving a child behind is punishable by law, at least in Germany. So that's that.
Probably find more legitimate reasons if they actually gave it
if you're abandoning your
effort.
child.
But let's move on to the next note. So there's a whole discussion about loli characters in anime, and you don't really need any additional context beyond what's being said here by this user who has an issue with these tropes. They say,
yeah, of course.
I thought you were against loli, but I guessed wrong when I saw the beginning comment. You know that lolis are literal children, right? Voiced with child actors. I am so unbelievably confused. Also, you know that drawings can be traced, right? With literal minors, right? Yeah, that would be illegal content right there.
Correct.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about anime characters here.
Yep.
But this person is making the wild claim that loli characters in anime...
And by the way, if it's a drawing from a real child, you should report it. Because a real child that just got... I am very, very harsh about that one. As soon as there is any pint of real children in it, or even a drawing of real children, this is... No, it's an end.
Voiced by child actors, which is the most insane claim I've seen in quite some time involving anime. And then note, of course, tries to shut that down, saying most loli and shota characters are voiced by adult women. The OP is making an emotional argument and uses over-exaggerated, alarmist language to avoid comments which would contradict their worldview. They should make this kind of like the generic template that could be applied to every single community note ever applied, because this is exactly what people do on Twitter. They try to make an overly emotional argument and they use exaggerated, alarmist language to try to basically make it so if you disagree with their worldview at all, you must be something absolutely terrible based on their own language. But of course, people would point out examples of characters like this one from Pokemon, saying actually they are voiced by 59-year-old women, which, by the way, many such cases in the industry. But let's move on to the next note. I actually covered this briefly on the alt channel, but I want to give this to you guys here if you missed it, because I think this was a very ridiculous attempt at a post or a joke here by YouTube creators, their official account on Twitter. They said this: whispered during a voiceover and realized we may have just started an ASMR channel by accident. Oops. The note, of course, just comes in, guns a-blazing, saying, YouTube has a long history messing with ASMR channels and videos, removing them due to supposed sexual content and automatically denying the appeals. And they give a whole host of examples here, and people were dunking on this. If you're not familiar with how ASMR works on YouTube, especially with VTubers in particular, they crack down on anything. Okay, now there's, of course, some bad actors making very adult content on YouTube, and they're getting rightfully demonetized or whatever, but there are many examples of people just like making the wrong noise, right? A completely benign one, but somehow the bot system picks it up as something that is lewd, and they're done. Like, account might, so there's examples of accounts just being gone, one shot gone over something that was completely benign. So A lot of people were not happy to see this and were dunking on YouTube creators, and yeah, deservedly so.
And by the way, I don't understand the hate against VTubers in any shape, form. I mean, for F's sake. You have literal HO3s that literally get F'd by people, and they just get banned for 3 days on Twitch, or YouTube just says, yeah, but girl, you don't have to do. Then you have VTubers that just get erased automatically just because they made, I don't even know what, on certain occasions.
Here's one more update. I actually talked about this in a recent video as well, but it got a official note applied to it. So there was this whole talk here on this original tweet talking about how anime fans were seen as weirdos and they made their own subculture, and then normies during the pandemic started to like anime and then basically try to force out the original fans out of their own space, which I think is a very accurate description of what's happened over the past couple of years, especially since the pandemic. Then you have this saying, it actually went more like this: anime is niche but respected hobby. Weirdos find anime. Weirdos create insular, self-congratulatory subculture shunning non-weirdos. Normal fans are pushed out. Anime is stigmatized. Normal fans try to return. Weirdos throw a hissy fit. Yeah, me when I'm trying to rewrite history. And the note catches that and says, in recent times, anime has become more mainstream. To claim it has been long since perceived as a respected hobby, however, ignores the historical context that anime fans were frequently viewed in a less than favorable light just for enjoying anime.
That's correct.
Anyone who's been around for more than the last 10 years, you know that people would get bullied in school for liking anime, for example.
Yep. This is just so on point.
It was a very common thing to see. So trying to claim otherwise, clearly bogus. The pandemic definitely changed things and how people viewed anime, and it's definitely been a different environment. And that's why I think we have a lot of crazy stuff going on Twitter and people being extremely hostile while not respecting the medium they claim to love so much. But let's move on to the final note. This is a weird one, ladies and gentlemen. No DNA needed with these cats. And for some reason, this video is AI generated. This is odd to me, right? You're a cat-themed gimmick account. Do you need AI? Like, posting cats on the internet is an automatic win. It's the easiest thing to ever do, and yet you have to use AI. It's not even like anyone's mad about this. It's just strange. It's just a strange thing. But on that note, we're going to end this video. So as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's.
Okay, fair enough. Ref, as always, a freaking legendary video. But is this even AI?
We're going to end this video. So as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topic. To ever do, and yet you have to use AI. It's not even like anyone's mad about this. It's just strange. It's just a strange thing. But
I don't see it. I mean, there is.
But on that note, we're going
cat?
to end this video. So as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Okay, either the AI is so good right now that I just don't recognize it. Or no, that's just not. This looks all natural. I don't know, like, I personally am more of a dog person, but of course I knew people who actually keep cats, and this looks totally natural. Even this little motherfucker. Look at his cute face. Oh. Isn't it? Acolytes, just enjoy life as long as it's young. And enjoy life when it's grown up. But as it is, Acolytes, good night.